Ready?
Hi, this is Lisa DeMonte from mylegal.com. We're here in Washington, D.C. for the second annual National Institute on Internal Corporate Investigations and Forum for In-House Counsel. I'm delighted to have as our guest this afternoon, or this morning I should say, Don DeGabrielle, who is a partner at Fulbright & Jaworski's Houston office. And Don chairs the International Governmental Investigations and White Collar Defense Practice Group of Fulbright & Jaworski. Don, thanks for joining us for a few minutes.
My pleasure.
Don just served as the moderator on a panel of state and government regulators who were talking about their expectations of corporations during an investigation. And Don, I think one of the themes, or the thread throughout the discussion this morning was cooperation, and that was the number one expectation from the state and the federal government regulators. What summary can you give us from the panel discussions this morning?
Well, I think the discussions underscore the great degree of cooperation that exists among not only various federal agencies, but state agencies as well. We had a representative from the director, in fact, from the Alabama Securities Commission. We had an associate regional director from Kevin Evanson from the SEC in Fort Worth. We had two DOJ officials. Certainly, we had the U.S. Attorney from the District of North Carolina, New Jersey. Forgive me, Paul, for that. Paul Fishman. And then we had Greg Andres, who is the acting Deputy Assistant Attorney General for the Criminal Division. So all gentlemen have very significant management roles in their organizations, but all of whom are career people. At one time or another, they've been prosecutors or regulators in the past. And they had a very clear view, I think, that since this conference has been about what can in-house counsel do, how can they advise their company or their clients in the event that an internal investigation is necessary. What we heard today were the views of the government, and although they weren't necessarily the views of the agencies, these trained and career people did offer up some very helpful pointers that I think will be meaningful to in-house counsel, to counsel that practices and represents corporations, business organizations, and things of that nature. And I hope that the takeaway will be that yes, there is cooperation, but yes, you can get the benefit of that cooperation if you'll just do some really common sense things.
Excellent. Don, I think we were very pleased in the audience to sort of see this little mix of humor with the really great advice, and I think it was interesting to hear, especially from Paul Fishman being on the defense side, now on the prosecutorial side. Is that correct? So different viewpoints, but I think they were really able to offer some key points of advice for in-house counsel in terms of what their expectations were. You prepared a PowerPoint that really outlined some of those key benefits. Will we be able to share that with some of our readers so that they can view that information as well?
I think that we can, but just let me have the chance to talk to the firm about that. I'm sure they'd be glad to get it out there. The ABA has no problem with it as far as I can tell, so I will get right back to you.
Super.
No later than tomorrow.
That's great, Don.
Okay.
Thank you very much for taking the time. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Have a great
Thank you for
afternoon.
coming.